All right, what's up, guys? It is week 8. And trust me when I say it, after this past Sunday night's 8:30 game, oh man. Who was it again? Cardinals and Seahawks. That's right. Sorry, I had to look it up real quick. But still, tied game. Tied game after overtime. I mean, right there, too. Right on screen just now. But still, I mean, to go that far, to get into overtime, and then missing 2 field goals. Both teams getting 1 field goal apiece, I should say. But still, I mean, come on. That is just crazy. Seriously, crazy. Seriously crazy. Anyways, I got a few things I got to do. Obviously, number one is the penalties. I set them all down to 65. And then, of course, the CPU skill. I'm actually going to have them together now. Just for a little bit. I'm going to try something, but they're all at 77 now. And it's only because last week, let me find it, I was technically 5-10, but that one tie I'll actually count as a kind of hit, kind of miss. So it's actually 5-9-1 for last week. Now, as far as games go this week, now this is pretty much, I base all my games to watch on who's doing good, who's, undefeated, who's this, who's that, who's a good team to watch this year. I have a whole bunch of certain factors that I pick that pretty much I'm just doing to do. But this week, I've actually got 3 honorable mentions and only 3. And I'm actually going to go ahead and do them now and then go into the others. And yes, I finally put music back on. You guys can't hear it because, I want this to be as free and clear of monetization as possible. But yeah. So, honorable mention number 1 is, of course, the 0-7 Browns. The only reason I even consider them honorable mentions, and I think I said this last week, is until they win, they are an honorable mention because they have no wins yet this season. That is the only reason I picked them as an honorable mention. The other 2 are, of course, the Cardinals versus Panthers game and the Seahawks versus Saints game. Pretty much the only reason I chose them as honorable mentions is obvious, to see how the tie affects their next game. Now, if either one of them had a bye week, then I wouldn't have bothered with it because I know that at least that team or both teams will not be affected by it, but will sit there and say, you know what? It's bye week. Let's take a week off. I'm kidding. They don't do that. But either way you look at it, I mean, that tie could affect them in some way. Both teams, well, no, the Cardinals were 4-1, the Seahawks were 3-3. So pretty much, I mean, the biggest part of it that actually makes any sense whatsoever is the fact that both teams now have a tie on their record for this season. And of course, Cardinals versus the 1-5 Panthers, and Seahawks versus the 2-4 Saints. Cardinals are going to pull it out no matter what. I know that much, but with that tie might affect them in a negative way. It's actually a tough call. It's the same thing with the Seahawks Saints game, even though the Saints are 2-4. I mean, the Saints actually might pull it off. just because they're 2-4, not just because of the fact that, the Seahawks are dealing with that tie. Who knows what's going on? Who knows what could happen? Who knows? As far as that game. Now, I do have one game that is a very good game to watch. It's not the game to watch this week. It's not the main game to watch, I should say. But it is one out of the 6. Out of these 6 games that I have that are games to watch. And that is Lions, Texans. Now, the only reason that this is a game to watch is because both teams are 4-3. Who will come out on top? Who will come out the loser? I actually say the Lions will probably, maybe, possibly, I don't know. I mean, they're actually doing pretty good this season so far. I mean, to get 4 wins at the very least. I don't know. I mean, I've always thought of the Lions as a joke team. I really have. Every Thanksgiving, they get trounced. I think it was last year or the year before, they actually started, or it was a couple of years ago, they actually started winning on Thanksgiving, which was actually very decent for them. But, I mean, it's weird, and, well, I wouldn't say weird, actually. To be honest, I mean, it's actually a pretty good matchup, the Lions versus the Texans. Especially with both teams being 4-3, and the Lions actually doing better than they have in years. I mean, as far as these past few years come. But still, this one is actually, I say, anybody's game. I do have to say I'm pulling for the Lions to win just because I want to see, some type of confidence booster that maybe, just maybe, gets them to the playoffs. But at the same time, well, actually playoffs or wild card at the very least. But at the same time, I have to give it to the Texans here. I do actually have to give it to the Texans. Texans will probably trounce all over the Lions just to say they can. Again. Obviously. But anyways, next game. By the way, all games so far that I've mentioned, the 3 honorable mentions, and then Lions, Texans are all at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I did find that out. But yeah. Next game is obvious. I'm actually following their progress a lot more lately than I thought I ever would. Patriots Bills. And I don't know why I did that. Come on. Get back up there. Boom. There we go. Okay. Set the controller down. Don't touch it. Okay. Patriots versus Bills. I mean, come on. What more can you say? It's the frickin' Patriots. Seriously. I mean, what more can you say other than the fact that Tom Brady, Rob Gronkowski, I forget his first name. I think it's Rob. It's either Ron or Rob. All I know is Brady, Gronk, Gislowski, I think. I'm probably mixing up players. This is why I shouldn't do this anymore. I mean, I'm not that into football. I just like doing this because I think it's good to try and figure out a prediction. But anyways, I mean, you've got Brady, you've got Gronkowski, you've got Garoppolo. Jimmy. Okay, you've got those 3. You've got the entire Patriots team. You've got their entire locker room. And they are all good. Except for their one loss, which was, let's see, week 3 against, who did they face? Oh, yes, they faced the Texans. Yeah. No, wait. Hold up. No, they had 3 wins. And then their fourth. Oh, my. I just realized something. This is the second time that these two teams are playing each other. Patriots Bills. This is the second time this season. Oh, my God. Okay. I just noticed that. So guess what? This is the main game to watch. Okay. Trouncing over the Buffalo Bills will be no small feat. Because the Bills already say, hey, we beat your third string, so we're going to beat Brady now. You never know. Patriots might even sit Brady out. And I didn't see that one little thing about Garoppolo, but they might sit Brady out and have a rematch of week 4. And actually trounce them this time. I don't know. Who knows? But this is... Now that I've actually realized that this is actually a rematch game from week 4, this is the main game to watch this week. Patriots versus Bills. And I don't know why I'm getting so excited over it. All I know is just... I do know for a fact the Patriots are going to trounce over the Buffalo Bills this week. The only bad thing is if they take Brady out and say, you know what, we're going to have a rematch and win. So pretty much Patriots are going to just trounce all over the Bills this week. That's all I'm going to say, and that's all I think I need to say now, isn't it? Next up is obvious. My boys, the Raiders, were actually doing very well this season at 5-2 against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, I'm actually very, very, very torn as far as who to root for because, I mean, I have loved the Raiders since I was a kid, and I want to say it was my dad who pretty much had a little bit of Raiders gear, you know, a little bit here and there, but that's about it. But I want to say it was mostly due to that I became a Raiders fan, because I've always loved their logo. I've always loved their logo, and, you know, I mean, I'm a Raiders fan, and at the same time, I really could just, I mean, it doesn't matter whether they're a good team. It doesn't matter whether they suck. Doesn't matter. I'm still a fan to be a fan, you know. But the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I've actually been a fan of for a little bit longer than the Oakland Raiders. And I got to say, even though I like the Raiders more than the Buccaneers, I have been a fan of both teams. I've even been a fan of the Jaguars and the Dolphins at one point in time or another, but it's more because of the fact that they're Florida teams and not just, you know, fan to be a fan, you know, or a fan because I like something about them. It's because I'm a fan because they're Florida teams, you know, like Dolphins and Jaguars. Like I said, just fan to be a fan, you know, fan because they're Florida teams. But with the Buccaneers and the Oakland Raiders, I mean, the Raiders, yeah, I've been a fan of the Bucs longer than the Raiders. The Raiders are my favorite team out of the two. But I am very torn about this game, especially when the Raiders are coming in 5-2 and the Buccaneers are coming in at 3-3. I mean, I want the Buccaneers to go up to 4-3. I want the Raiders to go up 6-3 or 6-2. But at the same time, I mean, I am very torn at this. I really am. And the only reason I picked this as a game of the week is because of the Raiders' winning record right now is 5-2. That's the only reason why I picked them. But other than that, I mean, it's hard for me to pick and decide, which team is going to trounce the other one. I mean, all I can say is the overall score speaks for itself, and that's just here on the game. But I'm not going to say anything more than that. I don't want to pick a team. I am just going to yell out and cheer as soon as I see one of them win. And that's pretty much it. All right, 3 more games to go. Next one up is... get down to them. There we go. Chargers, Broncos. By the way, Patriots Bills and Raiders Buccaneers are both at 1 o'clock Eastern. This game is at 4:05. Let's just put it that way. Chargers, Broncos. What's more to say? Broncos are going to kick butt and take names. Again, the only reason I picked it is because the Broncos are 5-2. That's the only reason I picked it. Yes, that is the only reason I picked this game, is because the Broncos are 5-2. I mean, I'm actually tracking everybody that has 5 wins this week. Yeah, I am. Unless they're on bye week, which no teams are on bye week with more than 5 wins. So, yeah, there's that. Wait a minute. Oh, yeah, okay, never mind. Yeah, that's right. Patriots haven't had a bye week yet. I was thinking why the Patriots had 6 and the Vikings had 5. But Patriots haven't had a bye week yet. But anyways, Chargers-Broncos should be a good game. And Broncos are definitely going to win. Not just because of their overall scoring right here, but because of the fact that, well, Broncos had Peyton Manning up until last year for quite a while. Their quarterback learned a lot from him. So, why not? You know what I mean? So, there you have it. That's the reason I say this is a game to watch this week, is mostly just to see if the Chargers can hand them their second defeat or if the Broncos go 6-1. That's pretty much it. All right, next 2 games are at 8:30. The next game I'm going to do is at 8:30 on Sunday, and the last game is at 8:30 Monday night. Now, where are they? There we go. Down. Eagles, Cowboys. Ooh, this one should actually be a close game. 4-2 Eagles versus 5-1 Cowboys. Yeah, this is definitely going to be a close game. I do have to say this will be close. And I mean, let's just put it this way. The Cardinals-Seahawks game, if that was any indication, this would probably be the exact same thing. It would go into overtime. I mean, Eagles 4-2, yeah. Cowboys 5-1, yeah. But I still say it'll probably go into overtime. I wouldn't mind seeing a Cowboys victory, though. That's all I'm going to say with that. Next and final is actually the best. Vikings Bears. Vikings win. That's pretty much all I'm going to say. Especially with the Bears being 1-6 and the Vikings being 5-1. That's all I'm going to say. Vikings win. Hands down. Simple, easy, done. And then, of course, at the same time, I have nothing more to say. But, I mean, seriously, what more can you say about this game other than the fact that the Vikings are 5-1, the Bears are 1-6. They haven't had a bye week yet. But still, I mean, their loss to the Eagles last week. Will the Vikings bounce back? Or will they lose to a 1-6 team? Providing the Bears' second victory out of the first half of the season. What do you guys think? You know what? I'm going to name this Game of the Week. Not the other game. Not the Patriots Bills. No, this game. Game of the Week. After their first defeat against the Eagles, will the Vikings bounce back and win again? Or will the Bears get their second victory over a very depressed Vikings? Who knows? But I will actually let you guys decide in the comment section below. Go ahead. Use it. It's actually going to be a lot better than you think. Now, at the same time, there are obviously other games that could possibly be a game to watch this week. But there you have it. There's my picks for the games to watch this week. 6 actual games that you should watch. And then, of course, the 3 honorable mentions just to see how the tie affects the Cardinals and Seahawks. And, of course, to see if the Browns can actually win their very first game. So, pretty much, that's it. Thank you guys for watching. And, of course, good luck to each and every team Thursday, Sunday, and Monday. And, of course, to each and every one of you all, happy hunting.